Alright guys, the brand new EZA AGL LR Future Gohan and Trunks is out. We do have him surprisingly at only 55%, however we do have those links sitting at level 10. Unfortunately, the special summon tickets haven't blessed me, so I don't have my own Carnival LR Future Trunks and Gohan, so we are rocking out with our friends, and so we can have the biggest boost when it comes to a team lead. I am rocking out with Carnival LR Future Gohan from about 2 years ago. And we've already got them on rotation with Future Gohan, so we're pretty much almost fully linked up perfectly. I've even got the EZA Int one with us, so we do have some Bond of Master and Disciple support going on right now. And they are starting with an 836k attack stat, 360k defense. They are starting with Key plus 4, 250% attack and defense. Of course, both the Carnival LR and the EZA orb change. The AGL one changing strength orbs to AGL orbs, and then the Int one changing every other orb aside from AGL and Int, of course, to help out the EZA to rainbow orbs. So key on a rotation like this is something I don't think either of them are ever going to struggle with. And not only that, they're also going to gain an additional Key plus 1 per orb obtained. And then on super attack on 18 key, we're going to greatly raise defense by 50% for 4 turns. So we're going to build up a decent amount of defense on Gohan for the time being. And then on 12 key, we're going to greatly raise attack and defense by 50% on both. So let's get them cooking. At the moment, the friend Carnival LR is just popping off quite a lot. Now I'm really wishing I had my own, but it is what it is. And we're starting with 20 mil. Which, for a unit that's at 55%, and we've only just started, quite solid. And they're not even on a full 220 lead neither. There's the additional. So that is, in total, 100% defense raise right now. Only 50% on the attack. And another additional as well. 13 milli on the second additional. That's 150% defense in total for this turn. And I thought we were about to get a quadruple. They're going to get a super attack. So let's see how they're tanking right now. What are we looking at? Only 85 damage. So a good start if you ask me. Then when HP is at 58% or more, which of course it is, or for 1 turn from the character's entry, which technically we're on both. Our HP was 58% or more and we were on turn 1. They will randomly change key spheres of a certain type, AGL strength excluded, to AGL orbs, hence why we had so many AGL orbs on that rotation, and they did gain an extra 150% attack and defense. So essentially, I think that's a really good either or condition. I think it does work really, really well, considering your HP needs to be 58% or more, which is kind of like the permanent version, permanent side of it, or literally turn 1. So no matter what, you can always have that active no matter what, but of course that's going to be even more handy on your first appearance. Then with 3 or more orbs obtained, which of course we did do with all that orb changing, you're looking at extra 158% attack, 258% defense, and then a chance to crit and damage reduction rate of 58%, which with the amount of orb changing you can have just from the EZA alone, you're looking at changing strength orbs to AGL orbs, which is just good in itself being their own AGL orb changer. Then, again, as long as your HP is at 58% or more, also changing random key spheres to AGL orbs as well, double the orb changing. I don't think there will hardly be a time. Also, I did bring this Trunks along just to flesh out the team, but we'll see how he performs now with kind of the help he's got going on. And literally, as I was saying, when it comes to all that orb changing, I don't see this EZA hardly ever struggling for orbs, or essentially to pick up those 3 orbs to get the 58% damage reduction and crit chance, because, well, you would have to get really unlucky with RNG to not get enough orbs to get it. It's not even like you need 3 AGL orbs. You actually need 3 orbs and you've got the damage reduction. So as I said, it's not like it's ever really going to be a struggle. Then with 3 or more AGL orbs, which of course the orb changing to specifically AGL orbs is going to help out a ton, which means if you do pick up 3 or more AGL orbs, you're going to get the first 158% attack, 258% defense, and 58% crit chance and damage reduction for just 3 any type key spheres naturally. So you end up killing 2 birds with 1 stone. And then when you pick up 3 or more AGL orbs, you get 258% attack and 158% defense. So just by picking up 3 AGL orbs, you are getting a ton of extra attack, extra defense, but more importantly, the damage reduction, and just for a sprinkle on top, that crit chance, and then from the AGL orbs, the guaranteed additional super. And again, so far from what I'm seeing with all the AGL orb changing, I kind of feel like not getting 3 AGL orbs, or even just 3 orbs in general, is going to be very difficult to do, which obviously is a good thing. But then also, I feel like you would have to get really, really unlucky with RNG to not get enough orbs to get any of those buffs on future Gohan and Trunks, especially if you are running the EZA with the Carnivore LR, because the Carnivore LR is doing their own orb changing, which excludes AGL orbs. Then you've got these guys orb changing strength orbs to AGL orbs, and then random key spheres to also AGL orbs. So I kind of feel like if you're running this rotation of both the EZA and the Carnivore LR together, not getting them 3 orbs, but maybe even specifically 3 AGL orbs, is hardly ever going to happen. It just kind of seems impossible. As I said, you're more than likely not going to be getting 3 AGL orbs, I think, if you were to get really unlucky with RNG, which of course can happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. Dokkan is an RNG based game after all. But then not only that as well, 3 or more orbs just in general for that first buff in their passive just pretty much seems guaranteed. But even then, as I said, getting 3 AGL orbs just kind of almost seems impossible. You would have to get very, very unfortunate. So I love how much orb changing is going on with not only just the EZA, but both the Carnivore LR as well. I said it during their kind of EZA details video. The Carnivore LR and the EZA, naturally great linking partners, but in general, just the way the kit was made for both units just seemed like they were made for each other. Like literally a match made in heaven type shit. So I really love what Dokkan did there. And then the final part of Gohan's passive is with 6 or more key spheres obtained, he will do another guaranteed additional super. So that's 2 guaranteed additional supers, which is great for guaranteed damage output, especially with mine only being at 55%. Then more importantly, when it comes to like those big heavy hitting enemies, defense to go with that damage reduction they've got. You know, 58% damage reduction for getting 3 or more key spheres, the 250 attack and defense Gohan starts with, then for getting 3 or more just orbs in general, another 258% defense. But then for getting the extra 158 for specifically 3 or more AGL key spheres, and then the 50% defense that you're raising on 18 key for 4 turns. So with the 2 guaranteed additionals in a turn as well, you're getting an extra 100% defense on top of the 50 and all of those stats you got from this passive on top of all of that. And we're not even done mini stacking him within those 4 turns yet. So big fan of the guaranteed additionals, which is why it just really doesn't make sense to me that Trunks didn't get blessed with like chances to just additional normal, considering his whole kit is built around him additionaling and additional supering to give himself 5% dodge or 10% in total in a turn. It just really doesn't make sense to me why they gave him such low chances. But anyway, here we are. Enough about that fraud, that degenerate. To round out that 6 or more key spheres obtained buff, Connected Hope or Bond of Master Disciple category allies are also getting 58% attack and defense for 2 turns, which is also very nice because you've got so much support that can run through not only this team with the Carnivore LR, because they have support as well, which I think both the support combined is great. What's their defense on now? 909k, which again at 55%. And then as I said, getting so much defense from picking up orbs. And then a team that has a decent amount of support flowing through it. And then the 50% for 4 turns on 18 key and the guaranteed additionals in the 1 turn. They're getting just quite a lot in terms of stats. Whoa! I mean, we got the revival. We got the revival, so do you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. Now we get to see these like anniversary GDC level of animations coming out with Trunks. Honestly, I still stand by what I said. They're probably some of the best animations in the game. Obviously, the unit is fantastic, but one of the biggest reasons why I actually want the Carnivore LR is because of how good the Trunks animations are. Like, they are so good. Dokkan really did give this Carnivore LR GDC level of animations, and you know what? I'm not mad about it. I'm completely here for it. So we've got that revival off, which is nice. But as I said, the EZA is just getting so much in terms of stats to go with that damage reduction, which I think is a big help, obviously. Now, the one thing I'm struggling a little bit with at the moment is getting those active skill conditions ready, which is dropping below 58% HP or less. I do think they're solid conditions, considering it is from turn 3. But at the moment, just losing enough health just kind of isn't really happening. But I feel like if there was going to be a time to do it, it's going to be now. But I feel like at this point, we may take too much damage like that and die.
Trunks, stay here. Got it? Do not follow me.
No, I promise I won't drag you down. I want to help you fight them.
I get it. Fine, Trunks. Let's go.
Okay.
Trunks, you're humanity's last hope.
So after a few attempts, I've managed to get the revival off. So with how many times it's taken, I would say the revival conditions, they're okay. They're okay. I wouldn't say they're the best. I wouldn't say they're the worst. But now we do have Gohan out permanently. 855k attack stats, 653k defense. In terms of raising defense for 4 turns, of course, immediately is turn 3, so we've already got that done. For 5 turns from entry right now, he does have key plus 8, 158% attack and defense, and 58% crit chance. That's just standard stats. He has another 258% attack and defense to go with that, while receiving an additional key plus 1 per orb obtained, and then randomly changes a key sphere of a certain type to AGL key spheres. And then, as the first attacker in the turn, or when our HP is at 85% or more at the start of turn, which of course is not because we got the revival, but as long as we put him in slot 1, we're going to have guaranteed guard. And then because our HP is at 85% or less, we also have an enemy scout, which we can see in the middle there. And then when it comes to our damage reduction now, that applies after a character or an ally's revival skill is activated, of course, which we have done. So now Gohan has permanent 58% crit chance and damage reduction, and because we're going to pop him in slot 1, we are indeed getting some guard as well. So as I said, in terms of active skill conditions, I would say they're okay. And now Gohan is massively raising attack by 100% for 4 turns, 67 mil! Bear in mind, this is at 55%, by the way, and it just pulled out over a 60 million attack stat. And we still have 3 more turns of Gohan raising his attack by 100%. Okay, that's a bit mad. And then on the 12 key, he does the exact same thing, except it's just for the 1 turn, so we've now basically prioritized attack over defense. And then when attacking with 12 or more key, he does gain 258% attack, which I think is quite obvious right there and then how much extra attack we're getting. And then as I already mentioned as well, as the first attacker on a turn, or when HP is at 85% or more at the start of turn, he will have guard, which does mean that Gohan does have guard no matter where you put him in the rotation. So if you need him to go in slot 1, he can go in slot 1, especially if you don't go above the HP threshold. If you need him to be in slot 2 and more beefed up, then of course he can do that. And for whatever reason, if he ends up being in slot 3, maybe you're doing Rose and Zamasu runs and he gets locked, he should be fine there as well. And then that Scouter, as long as you're at 85% HP or less, obviously I think is probably one of the strongest team abilities in the game, alongside something like a revival, which of course the EZA has both. Not only does Gohan and Trunks have a revival, which is just good in general. I mean, to be fair, it now has 2 because of the Carnival LR, but they both gain their buffs if any unit dies, which I'm a big fan of. As much as I love Majin Buu as a unit, the fact that he specifically had to be the unit to die to get the revival was really jarring. So the fact that it's any enemy or any ally, same could be said for the EZA and Carnival LR, I think is great. And then the permanent damage reduction as well, even better, especially to go with the guard. Big fan of that. But then just in general, as I said, having a enemy scouter, being able to foresee enemy super attack in a turn, I think is just one of the strongest team abilities in the entire game. Not to mention as well, the threshold is really lenient. 85% or less. That's not that difficult. So even if you're at 84% HP or less, or just even in general, if you're at 84% HP, Gohan has his scouter up. So even if you're almost at max health, you will have the scouter up, which I think is really, really strong. Like right there and then, we can see this in slot 1. We even have the domain up as well, just to give him like a bit extra. And we actually have a full rotation of future Gohans, which I think is pretty dope. Then when receiving an attack, future Gohan does get an extra 158% attack and defense. And then if he does gain 5 or more key spheres, which he did on his first appearance, guaranteed additional super, which we done too much damage so we didn't get to see. And Connected Hope or Bond of Master Disciple category allies will gain 58% attack and defense for 2 turns, which, as I said, not only the support is good anyway, but for 2 turns is great, especially when you factor in Carnival LR, future Gohan and Trunks support as well to go with it on the turn. And then if you're running a full Bond of Master Disciple setup, you even have Kid Gohan as well. You even have, if you want to use him, which you probably won't, but we've got him here for the sake of the team, the AGL Trunks as well. There's a lot of good support flowing through Bond of Master Disciple now, which I'm a big fan of. So Gohan has a 1.65 million attack stat right now. I'm thinking surely he tanks that. Guard, 58% damage reduction. We're also going to give 11 orbs, which means we've got the... Of course, when attacking with 12 or more key, which we've got anyway. And then for picking up 5 or more orbs. I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out by popping him in slot 1. I mean, we only have 16% HP. We're going to go up to 33. Hopefully, we have enough health to tank this. We do have type advantage as well. What are we looking at? Oh, I mean, we got the revival. we got the revival.
You know you can't win. Even if you manage to kill this body, someone even stronger would surface and take my place.
And we were just talking about how strong a revival for a team ability can be. Not only does future Gohan have a scouter, but also has a revival as well. And revives with full HP, which is essentially like having a sensu being on you without even needing to carry items. So on top of all of that, you could kind of maybe say that the future Gohan and Trunks is one of the strongest units in the game. I mean, especially the future Gohan portion of things, and especially partnered with the Carnival LR as well. So with the revival being activated, which again, big fan of the fact that it doesn't need to be specifically the EZA to die. The same with the Carnival LR, it can be anyone. Future Gohan now has permanent key +5, permanent 258% defense, and permanent chance to crit, and 58% damage reduction, along with the slot 1 or at 85% HP or more guard. So him being in slot 1 right now, especially with full health, should be absolutely fine while having full health. Of course, we are getting those Vegeta and Trunks stacks as well. Let's not forget about those. And we're looking at 189k. And of course, since we've been hit, we've got an extra 158. 74 million. What are these numbers? This EZA is ridiculous. And this isn't even on a full 220% lead. Sure, the numbers might be a tad, just a tad inflated. I'm going to use an Icarus just in case of future Gohan. I purely brought this so I could survive. But then also trigger the active skill for the EZA. Hopefully future Gohan doesn't get me killed. Fingers crossed. I mean, he is mainly here for a lead. But this isn't even on a full 220 lead. And this is at 55%. This is bare minimum, bare basic, bare bones. And he's doing 74 mil. That's absurd. That is crazy. Like, can we deep how strong this future Gohan portion of the unit is? Not only is he getting a decent amount of stats from his passive, just from, well, the 5 turns from entry after you get the exchange. Not only just the 258 from basic effects, you get another 258 on 12 or more key in terms of attack. When you receive an attack, that's 158% attack and defense. After the revival, you got guaranteed an extra 258% defense. Guaranteed 58% damage reduction. Slot 1 or 85% HP or more. you've got guaranteed guard. And then to go with all of those stats, the guard, the damage reduction, which is just good in itself, you've got two of the strongest team abilities in the entire game, in my opinion, which is an enemy scouter, which has very loose conditions on a threshold, 85% or less, which I think is light. And then not only that as well, you have a revival. And even then, to get the revival buffs, he doesn't even have to be the unit to die, just to kind of give it that bit extra, just for the cherry on top of the ice cream. Like, ice cream is already nice as it is. You didn't need to add sprinkles, my guy. Like, this Gohan is just doing a lot. And on top of all of that, on top of all those amazing abilities to have for a team, you're doing 60 to 70 mil while having a solid amount of defense with damage reduction and guard. It's like Dokkan decided, yeah, let's just give him everything. Like, Dokkan loves future Gohans, I've noticed. They're always so good. Which fair, because like future Gohan is a pretty sick character, don't get twisted. But damage reduction, guard, big offensive numbers, a scouter, a revival. And then not only that as well, support for Connected Hope and Bond of Master and Disciple category allies for 2 turns. Especially when the Carnival leads Bond of Master and Disciple. Especially when the Carnival supports themselves. Especially when Kid Gohan also supports. And I know he's really bad. But when also EZA AGL Trunks also has support if you wanted to get that bit extra. This EZA is monstrous. Now, we have an Icarus active, so just for pure shits and giggles, and 15 orbs, by the way. What did I say about the orb changing between the Carnival and EZA? You'd have to get really unlucky to not get orbs with them. I'm going to let him just go in slot 1. Guard, damage reduction. There's the extra 158% attack and defense as well, because he's received an attack. With the Icarus on top, you're looking at what? Over 70, over 80% damage reduction with guard. How much is he taking here? 20 damage. I mean, I know we have an item active, but that was just to make sure we survive. I want to see what he's putting out numbers-wise. I'm seeing 58 mil at the bottom. Not only that, he's getting 100% attack raise. I mean, he's probably done now. I think more than definitely he's done now. But massively raised his attack by 100% for 4 turns. And again, let's not forget, I just have to remind myself, my one is at 55%. There's no dupes here. There's no dupes here. Even 40 mil on an additional. This is absurd. I think this is probably one of the best EZAs crafted this year. And I know that's an easy statement to throw about. But this Gohan does so much, and I think is perfectly crafted for the Carnival LR. Think about it. Bond of Master and Disciple support recently. Carnival LR Future Gohan and Trunks, who is amazing, supports the team. EZA AGL Kid Gohan, great EZA, supports. EZA AGL Trunks, absolute doo-doo, we don't talk about him, supports. EZA AGL Future Gohan and Trunks, sensational EZA, support. You have the orb changing of the Carnival LR, the orb changing of the EZA, and they don't obstruct each other while supporting each other. Of course, almost perfectly links well to each other. Not only that as well, but then the EZA, as I already mentioned, we've gone over the support, but can have guard, permanent 58% damage reduction, a ton of extra attack and defense, especially on super attack effect with that massively raised. Enemy scouter with a lenient HP threshold at 85% or less, and a revival, which of course the Carnival LR also has, and they both get their revival buffs if any unit dies on the rotation, not specifically either of them as individuals. Again, I know throwing out, oh, best EZA in the game is a statement that gets chucked around so much. But I think just because of how much the EZA is doing, and how good as a unit it actually is. Honestly, I love these animations because they're from fighters, but it's a shame the unit's so doo-doo. But because the EZA is just genuinely so good, but then also doing so much, especially for Bond of Master Disciple, like, don't get me wrong, you can run them elsewhere as well. You know, you could run them on maybe Future Saga, probably not though. Androids and Cell Saga's getting a bit of a boost. Big help for Hybrid Saiyan, so if you're still struggling to do that Broly mission, definitely going to be a big help. Earthbred Fighters. But not only are they putting out 60, 70 million attack stats, not only do they have damage reduction and guard and support, but they're just so good for the team they're on. Especially Bond of Master Disciple, like, they're doing so much. Do we have a new best EZA in Dokkan already? I guess what? It's been a month? Maybe not even. Like, I think they are that good. And all the while, mine are doing this at 55%. Can you... I haven't even seen what they're doing at Rainbow, by the way. I don't even know if I want to see what they're doing at Rainbow, because that would be disgusting. They are so good. So good. And one of the best parts about it, I'm just going to put them in slot 1 just to see what happens. One of the best parts about it as well is there doesn't seem to be any difficult content in the game that completely counteracts the EZA either. You know, Broly nullifies dodge at the end. That's fine. They don't dodge. We don't need them to dodge. 58.6 mil is absurd at 55%. They've got guard and damage reduction. Not only that, enemy scouter. Even if you do kill them, revival. Full heal. Rose and Zamasu, again, their guard, as long as you're above the HP threshold, they've got it. So even if they get locked out slot 1, fine. If they get locked in slot 1, cool, they got guard. Like, it's crazy how much better Future Gohan by himself gets compared to the Gohan and Trunk side of things. AoEs is fine. Again, guaranteed guard as long as you're above the threshold in any point on the rotation. So Tamagami 1, built for that, can compete in there as well. I think the only fight that can catch them is Gohan, Trunks, and Goten, which majority of units in the game can be caught by them just because they hit so hard. But I think this probably has to be one of my favorite EZAs from 2025. They are so good. So good. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. And peace.